Divine Collective, Spirit says that something is coming in. Whatever it is, you better get ready, okay? Listen, welcome to Spiritual Court TV, where we talk about all things spiritual. If you're new here, I'm really glad about that. If you're returning back, I'm really glad about that. Remember to come in with your higher self. Take what resonates and leave what does not as we tap into this energy, divine creator, holy one above it all. Show us what we need to see. You got the Queen of Swords and you got the Four of Swords. Okay. So something about clear cut communication. Gemini energy is real inspiring, you know. Gemini energy will watch you like say your say. That's what I was going to say. You saying what it is that you saying. I said what I said. Okay. So retrograde Gemini energy makes you stand on your say. Retrograde is always there in your face to say that again. Okay. Queen of Swords energy, something about divine insightfulness. Okay. Clear cut communication allows you to express what's best for yourself and everyone around you. You're an unbiased energy. Okay. Although judgment is here and it's being called down over everybody by way of the divine, or the divine is coming in with divine judgment, you're somebody that is unbiased. You're pretty independent, you know. You set clear cut boundaries when it comes to the truth because you stand for justice. That's what the Queen of Swords is really about. Clear minded and you're fair. You're unbiased. You're very, very divinely perceptive. Okay. You perceive all sides. Welcome to the liberation of that Libran energy with this Gemini energy coming in. And Libra is the card that comes up. It says, take time out to focus on the answer and the truth will come. So a lot of you just been praying for divine truth, divine guidance, divine truth, whatever happens. It is not a going with the flow energy. It's very insistent, very consistent, and very intentional. Watch people that say they're just going with the flow. Child, they float on, they float here, they float there. Listen, moral of the story is your higher self is leading you. That's who you should be following. You're going to be your best tour guide in the Eight of Cups. You're walking away, turning your back, going in a new direction, a new journey, if you will. Something's really exciting about life. You're walking away from disappointment, abandonment, empty cups, man. Eight of Cups is like, I'm going to walk away from these cups. They're empty. I'm going to walk away from the table where people were serving me empty cups because there was no emotions there. There was no love there. And common sense says, let me preserve myself and go where I am celebrated. You got the Page of Pentacles energy, okay? Ambition and taking advantage of new opportunities and being an inspiration and or being inspired to be an inspiration. So you're inspired by your higher self. Yeah, that's a good mentor. That's going to be your number one person, your number one guy, your number one lady. Your higher self is inspiring you. That's what I just heard, which is requiring for you to leave your old self out in the cold with the Five of Pentacles. Oh, man. Come on, Holy Spirit. Yeah, that could have been a little bit difficult. You ever see somebody break up with themselves? You ever see somebody break up with the version of themselves and have a whole conversation? I'll be the first to raise my hand. I have, okay, telling your old self, like, look, old self, we can't do this dumb shit no more. We got to get up out of here. That means we got to change the whole situation up. And then you, sometimes, depending on how willing you are to let go of a version of yourself, sometimes you argue with yourself. You'll fight yourself. You'll make excuses for people that need to be gotten rid of when it comes to yourself. Don't argue with yourself like that. Your higher self is rooting you on. But the Five of Pentacles represents leaving something out in the cold. Yeah, betrayal. This is moving on, honestly. It's acceptance, it's purification, it's transformation, it's transmutation, it's honesty, it's completion. It is done and all is well. The Ten of Swords is like abandoning betrayal. Things that may have seemed difficult will become a lot easier because you're being inspired by your higher self to do so. Who's going to ignore their higher self? I don't know anybody that does. And I don't want to hang out with anybody that's, God forbid, that's ignoring their higher self. Because with your higher self is the Ace of Wands. You're co-creating with Source. With your higher self is your intuition. With your higher self is discernment. Yeah, decent and in order. I can't make this up. You got the Two of Wands. This represents not blocking yourself, not fighting yourself. Yeah, don't be a negative Nancy in your own head. Now we know people did certain things. Ultimate betrayal. Listen, Ten of Swords, they took it too far. The Five of Pentacles. Listen, leave the version of yourself that you need to. This is what our higher selves are confirming. Leave the version of yourself that you need to leave out in the code collective and leave it with the people that you also need to leave out in the code. It's an adjective and a verb at the same time. People, places, and things and actions that need to be taken. So basically, in short, let's just break this shit down. This shit needs to be discarded. It needs to be gotten rid of. I just heard who's going to take the trash out. Yeah, keep some trash bags with you in case you got to pack up your feelings, or pack up something that you felt a way about and pack that shit up. And then, yeah, let the trash man take it away. You got the Six of Cups, okay? Six of Cups is nostalgia. So retrograde is coming in with, memories, okay? Hopefully you have good memories about your life because guess what? All is well. It's all good. Trust me. Yes, even the Ten of Swords. Yes, 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 okay? So nostalgia, healing, opportunities for healing, balance and peace. Looking back on the past, I feel like we've been taught to run from our thoughts so much to not think about the past, which is not really healthy for the mind. It's almost denouncing that the entire experience didn't exist. And that's irrational. It did exist. It happened. Woulda, coulda, shoulda didn't happen. It happened the way that it was supposed to. But I feel like when you put yourself in a position with your higher self to revisit the past, okay, and you see how everything came together, and you see that when you look back, it's all good. Sometimes you can go back to the past and just remember the good things. Yeah, why not? It's your story. You can do what you want. Yeah, that's really the opportunity that retrograde presents. It's not supposed to be torment. Anybody running from the past and not wanting to accept reality is usually caught in between a rock of delirium and confusions. And that's unfortunate because real things are happening in real time. So one has to face reality. Well, what actually happened? What role did you play? Yeah, go back into your past and only look at yourself. Yeah, okay. That's homework. That's a homework assignment. Spiritual court is now giving out homework assignments. Okay, spiritual court. I'm excited about my assignment. I'm going to go and do my assignment and sit back and try to see if I can look back into the past and only see myself, hold myself accountable. Yeah, go rescue yourself out of that situation, whatever it is. Because if that's what it takes in order for you to move forward, then you now have to become the Queen of Swords to yourself. Yeah, you got to cut your old self off. It ain't nothing to cut myself off. Yeah, cut yourself off. Come on, we got a rebirth here. I can't make it up. And look, the Queen of Swords still comes out. Okay. It wanted to come out in the reverse. Are these cards somewhat upside down? Lately, the cards, y'all, have been ass backwards. I feel like it has to do with the energy. I feel like a lot of people wish that they could turn the tables. Yeah, turn back the hands of time. Worst thing you could do is fall prey to that type of mindset. You listen, it happened. They did it. You did what you did. It's over. Walk away. If you look back, only look at yourself, okay? The most dysfunctional relationships, the ones where people rejected you, was because you were being redirected. That was a part of your protection. Accept that. Be well with that. Be happy about that. Give thanks for that. Queen of Swords, independent, mature. Yes, this is your future self telling you, listen, we turn out okay, but I'm going to need you to pay close attention to me. When you're seeking higher counsel, you're calling out to your higher self. Your higher self is perfecto. Yes. Your higher self is sitting with the divine, co-creating, sitting at the right hand of the divine. That's your higher self. Your higher self is like, where else you looking but at me? Where else you looking but within inside? Where else are you looking and what exactly are we looking for and why? And whatever it is, your higher self is saying, let me help you find that. Your higher self is your spiritual counselors, different versions of yourself. Listen, look back and only look at yourself. Oh, somebody's moving forward. Okay. You got the Knight of Cups. A lot of friendships are being rejected from the past, and that's okay. Just close those cycles out with love. Release them. They did the most. You did the most. They say you did the most. Maybe that was a lie. Maybe it was true. Guess what? God knows what actually happened. Everybody's being held accountable. It's time to do homework. Something to take your ass home and do your homework. You got the Four of Wands, okay, and the Knight of Cups, and you also have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is about foresight, expansion, growth, expanding your territory, commerce, foresight. It's a vision, if you will. You know, you get a vision of what it is that you want. This is you dreaming up different versions of yourself and what you feel you need to be at this point in your life. Because after going through whatever you've had to go through, especially with the Eight of Cups, walking away from a team I just heard, and from a table where there was nothing being served but empty cups. Listen, you're gonna have to look at the version of yourself that you walked away from as well. Did you have a proper? Did you have a proper burial? Retrograde. Why is retrograde playing with my say? Spirit says, watch your say. Okay, Spirit. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Spirit is telling me to speak love with confidence. That this is a very sensitive topic for people that are attempting to heal, that need to close out this cycle. Thank you, Spirit. I knew that stuttering was for a reason. Spirit was like, you better speak this truth. Hold up. What are you saying? Retrograde is like, eh. Six of Wands, because it's a victory. Speak about your wins, about your victories. It's all good. Temperance energy. Stay calm. Be cool. It definitely helps the atmosphere. It helps the ozone layer as well. Don't let anybody tell you any different. And with the Eight of Wands, there's some type of communication coming in. Swift communication, okay? Yeah, I just heard my spirit team say, slow down. You're doing a good job. That's what's up, spirit team. Thank you. I'm doing a good job. The Nine of Cups, okay? We're here to help the children. The new focus is on the children. Everything else is obsolete. There's judgment on these children, okay? These children need to be made safe in school, okay? In daycare. They need to be doing meditation, okay? If you're on the phone too long, include your children. You should be doing something conducive with your children. Okay, Page of Pentacles, there's judgment on these children. These are very special babies. I keep hearing precious cargo. Okay, some of you about to give birth, honey. While you pregnant, be mindful of what you take in, honey, what you watch, what you see. Anybody focused on giving birth and giving life should be focused on things that are alive and well and happy. Everybody can't touch your womb. Everybody can't hold your baby. Do your research on these immunizations, okay? Are you going to homeschool? What do you plan on doing, okay? This is what Spirit is saying, because these babies are very, very special babies, and they're not coming into no mess. They're coming to bring some lessons. They're wiser than us. That's nice. These children are a gift. You see how mature they are at their ages? I saw a 4-year-old honey that got her hair done, and she was like, this is really nice. I'm like looking at her like, how many times you been here? Who's grandmama, grandpappy, granddaddy spent the block and said, I'm going to do it again. Sometimes these spirits are not spinning the block, y'all. They don't have any reason to reincarnate. They really don't. Some of them just sit in a high space and they make a decision to come down and fulfill a contract. They're like, okay, I think I'll go to Earth and, you know, be the next prime minister. The Earth needs some things to be put in order. Some of these children that are being born are ascended masters. They did not need to come back. Okay. These babies are special. Big shout out to everybody that's got grandbabies and great nieces and nephews and adopted babies and, you know, adopted family, meaning you adopted your sacred family, your kindred soul family, right? Okay. This is the message. I'll see y'all soon. I love you. Remember to take what resonates, leave what does not. Peace be with you.